of course, I didn't press record. So the first couple of minutes we might have missed anyway. My goodness, folks, that's not very wise of me. It says it's going to download in. Oh, I think it's just downloaded. So let's see if we can do this. PowerPoint is opening winter boot camp and gate. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we got a new slide deck. I'm going to go back and start again because this is quite exciting. This is a slide deck I haven't seen. So talk about trust. So let's go back and share that screen again and let's have some fun with this, hey? All right. Okay, so and I'm using PowerPoint and not Keynote. So let's see what we got. Hey, Bridget, look at that.
Awesome.
So this is going to be really fun because I haven't done this before. So I totally left it with one of my team to create these slide decks. So we'll see. So we're talking engaging. And this is what we're talking about too. Week 2, so week 1, we're talking educating. Week 2, we're engaging. Wow, look at the size of the screen. This is fantastic. So we're in 2017, we're in the year of the mobile device, we're in the year that everything happens on one of these. Like 80% of social media happens on an iPhone. 40% of people don't even look at Facebook on a computer. So if you're not working towards mobile, then you're in big trouble. Now I just noticed that my image froze. That's interesting. So I'm gonna, in fact, everything just froze. Okay, so we just did my name and the kids and how I got to become @JDGem, which we covered off, and that's my social branding. That is who I am and what I do. And yeah, I got involved in social media because of an accident which broke my neck, which I got fixed, and it's all good. So as I said to you before, when we're writing social media posts, we're not going to get it right. I won't call them failures. I won't call them heartaches. But it's a journey. But every time you learn from that journey, you get a little bit better, and you're helping other people because not everybody is going to get home runs. And there's camaraderie when you think, if I can't get a home run every time with 20,000 likes, and it's kind of hope for everybody. So we're all in this together. And this is what we got to. This is our team. And as a company, as much as I do a lot of training, we do a lot of website building, social media landing pages, email campaigns, contests, graphic design, branding, video creation, photo shoots. We do lots of different things. And this is some of what I call my dream team of how we work together and what we do and how that just blends into the training that I bring to you, because I don't just bring training based on what I read in a book or what I went to on somebody else's webinar. I bring my training based on what we're doing every day for the 20 or so businesses that we are their marketing agency for. So we're very much sort of in the trenches, learning as we go and then sharing as we go, so you get the very latest stuff that we're doing. So those 5 E's of social media that we teach in this boot camp, I try and keep it so simple so that on a cold winter's day when you've got your phone in front of you, you just have that mental block and you just think, what am I supposed to do again? The first job, no matter what we do on social media, is we've got to educate people in who it is that we are and what it is that we do in such a way that they're going to enjoy that. We've got to engage with people. What we're talking about today, this two-way focus of who I am, who you are, and how we can make those connections. And most of you are in this room because of a connection to me in some point. People have got to go to their social media and enjoy it. So that whole entertain module is absolutely fantastic for that. We want to have our content out there in such a way that it empowers people to become better. So whatever it is that we sell or fix, by them hiring us, it's going to make life better for them. So we want to empower them through our social media. But most of all, we want to excite them. We want to get them so excited that they see your post, they go to your website, they sign up for your webinar, that they want to do business with you. And that's where we're taking this. So when you think about your ideal client and you think about that headache that the ideal client has, oh, this is very good, Bridget. She's done a good job. You taught well. What are they struggling with the most? Because if you can already answer that question as to what they're struggling with, what's keeping them up at night, then chances are they're going to come straight to your website to learn more because you've already fixed their problem. And it could be case studies, it could be have you ever, there's lots of different ways that you can ask those questions, but that's where we want to take this. So I really need you to be real in your social media. I want you to be very honest and very open, have some fun with it, because what we find more than anything else is that emotional connections matter. They call it your EQ, your emotional quality, in social media is actually more important now than your IQ. Because you can be super clever and write the post that you just think is going to be the home run and it goes flat. Next one, you put this cute kitten on it and it goes crazy. So being authentic, being able to write something that you would be happy to put on a t-shirt is really where we're taking this and making it sort of something that's a lot more fun. So based on this map, we looked last week at very much that Google and Facebook segment of how we use those to get found and people find us. We then look at the rest of the box. And you can pick whichever tool out of this toolbox you want, but it all starts at your website in the center. It all starts at your blog, which we'll be covering in week 4, which is how you tell your story to your clients in such a way that they want to buy from you. I got featured in a blog last week by the mentoring program, a lady called Lisa Sasevich. And they interviewed my wife and I a few months ago, and they wrote a blog, which I didn't get to see until it was published last week. Oh my goodness, it just blew me away with how amazing it was that that blog reached like 40,000 people. And they wrote it so well, and they included some pictures, and it was just remarkable. And yeah. Blogs, I'll show you that blog at the end, but those blogs become the core of your content. Those blogs you can take them through Pinterest, you can make videos from them, you can put them on live stream and then turn it into a blog, sharing those links on Instagram, harder to share on Snapchat, but we'll talk about that. LinkedIn becomes its own blog and it's called LinkedIn Pulse. And then you've got meetups and podcasts. So there's a whole idea behind this, which would just drive people directly to your website as your social media posts are going out there. So it's so cool when you get this right. And then what happens is someone gets your blog or they get your content, and then it's what they do with it that makes a difference. So they might just like the comment and it's like, okay, great. They might make a comment on it, which is getting a lot better. But then they might share it on your wall. And if they like, comment, and share, then you're really starting to get a home run. And the interesting thing that I never see really done very well, and there's one thing that I do a lot of, and it takes us back to that old school manners thing, is that when someone comments on my blog, write back, or any social post, write back to them. If someone shares your post, I always go and like their post because I get a notification, and I'll always say, thanks for sharing. So they're not stealing it, they're sharing it, but they're giving your social proof to the wider world by them looking at a post and thinking, you know what, that's good. That's really good. So much so that they're willing to take your product and put it on their page. That's the best endorsement that you can get. So just having that chat around that share box, is going to make a huge difference for your engagement, because part of what Facebook does is it looks at those analytics. So it says, okay, this post got 10 likes, you got 15 comments and 5 shares. Whoa, especially if that happens quite quickly. That's when they start putting that post on the timeline of other people, because they're trying to entertain and educate people with good quality product. So those like, comments, and shares can make a huge difference. I have some friends right now who are in Instagram pods, and there's like groups of 10 or 15, and every time one of them posts on Instagram, they all just jump on and like and comment, and that way, sort of within that first 10, 15 minutes, that Instagram post is getting shown to way more people in a feed because of the initial engagement. So you don't want to manipulate it, but at the same time, there's a great way of just taking this out to the masses and to be able to do that. So that's what we're looking at here. So each week I set a mission, and this week's mission, our homework, should you choose to accept it or reject it or think about it, is to become the most engaging teacher in your world. Not just the world, but in your world. So you think about that, and you think about how you could help. Like Bridget did a wonderful thing this weekend. She did a social media boot camp a PowerPoint bootcamp where people were creating their own slide decks, and it was just fantastic. She did a webinar about it. I was over the top, you know, because I couldn't join, but one of our staff joined instead because I was so excited about this coming. But I shared it to my friends. I went, this is something you need to watch, because this webinar will take your slide deck from, my old slide deck was like an 8 out of 10, or a B as I would give it. Now I'm full screen with all this graphic, and it's like, now I'm an A. And I learned that from Bridget. And it was so worth investing in that bootcamp for Paige for the weekend. So you can't respond, someone's asked a question, can you respond to a like? No, you can't. But you can go and look at that person and go to their page and start liking some of their stuff. And then they get notifications that you've hopped over to their page. So I think that would be a good way to do people like their own posts? Sometimes they do, and I see that a lot from, see, it would be hard for me because my business page and my personal page are the same. It's my name. And I don't, so I'm not a big, you know, patting myself on the back. So what I like to try and do is not like my own posts, but share them. But certainly it's a good thing to be able to do that, you know, for other people. And then these are some of the words that, you know, really start to come up in this journey that we're on. So yes, it's a challenge, you know, and yes, we're going to have some great achievements. We're going to come off some obstacles. There may be some risk in putting yourself out there and making that video, but I love this mind map board because there's just lots of words in here that just really pique my attention. And when you use images like this on your social media, and you might sort of put this out and say, this is what my years look, these are my keywords for 2017. Out of these words, which one, you know, best describes where you're at? Suddenly, this kind of post will really, really start to create engagement, because people say, my word is opportunity. I'm open to opportunities. I have a speak to sell talk that I want to spread around the world. I would just love to be able to share it on somebody's stage. It could be adrenaline. Somebody said, I'm just totally in for the ride this year. I'm going to have a ton of fun. This is where I'm going. But this kind of thing will really work for you. And with the social media bootcamp, our whole philosophy, okay, that one didn't quite work as well, Bridget, is that we're getting people to change their paradigm. We're changing the paradigm to helping people, not selling to people. Because what we really want to try and do is just be that helpful go-to person. I have a friend in the group this morning. She's got a webinar at 4 o'clock. She couldn't link her lead pages to her PayPal for some reason. I volunteered one of our staff to just go over and help her. Hopefully it was a quick fix. I don't even know yet. But it's great to be that go-to person that helps people. And the more times, I mean, you don't want to give your stuff away for free. You don't want to be overly helpful. But at the same time, just the fact that you can help people with the gifting that you've got will make a huge difference for people. Okay, so, I think we had that slide twice, Bridget. Okay, and it fixed itself second time, so I like that. Okay, so with that engagement comes the opportunity to make yourself that leading expert, that leading authority within your industry, and that's where the blog comes in. So what I do is when people arrive at my website, and I need you to look at your website too, what is this telling people when they arrive there? We looked at this a bit last week. So I've got 5 boxes here that are hot boxes. So if someone wants to grow their social media, I'm giving them a free 1-month trial to my inner circle. That's what I call my incentive freebie to get their email. But if someone's looking at my page and they're just stressed about social media, as you know, I know some of you are, and that's why you're here, then great, you know, click this button and find out exactly what you need, and it'll go to certain blogs that, you know, that we've written about how to overcome social media. Sign up for the winter bootcamp. Well, it's kind of a bit late to do that, but that box closes after today. Get the 1-month pass to the inner circle, read the blog. So right now, I'm giving people 5 different options to engage with me, and I'm doing nothing. This page works for me 24 hours a day. So what you want to be able to do is to be able to have that same engaging on your social and your web page, so that when they do get back to your web page, you're giving them something in exchange for the email, you're educating with them, and as they scroll down the page, they'll find a way of engaging with you through social media links. Excuse me a sec. So based on that blog post, that story that you tell, be it in video or in print or both, should really reflect the passion of your business. And last week I had everybody put their finger on the pulse and just feel that blood rushing through your veins. That same passion for your business should be in every article that you write, every post that you make, so that people can really come alongside and just say, man, that guy loves what he does. Have you seen what this guy does? He just loves it. You should go follow him. And that's how you build an audience. So with that audience comes the blog. And with that blog comes your website. So again, this is a screenshot of my website a little bit further down. So here's the last 2 blogs that I wrote about, my words for 2017, my blog that I just got featured on Lisa Sasevich. And that's very, very quick for what people can do. On the right-hand side, you'll see I've got a box there like sign up for my newsletter. And then I've got a Facebook feed that runs down. So everything that I post on Facebook is going in the right-hand side of my column. So I am engaging with people all the time so that they can actually see what is the URL of the site you're showing me. So it's WeMakeStuffHappen.com. So we make stuff happen. I'll add this to the chat box as we speak. Oh, and I spelt it wrong. Okay, it's 2 P's. I apologize. I better not be doing this too much, but that's where we're going with this. So based on that, the nuts and bolts of having a blog are really important, and we're going to cover this in week 4, but I'm just going to give you a taste of what we're going to cover and what you should be thinking about when you're writing these articles. And you can write a long form post on Facebook without even having a website. You can write up to 2,000 characters per post. But think about this. We need a strategy for getting it done. So we've got to learn to work with your creative process. And we'll talk about this with Lindsay. Are you a good writer at 6 in the morning? Do you do really great writing on a Sunday night? Is it something that you think about when you're in the car? There's lots of different places that you, in the shower, wherever it is, that you can be creative. How are you going to record those strategies? Obviously, it's a bit harder when you're in the shower, but even harder when you're in a car, unless you have a hands-free, hey Siri, record this kind of thing. So you got to find where your creative process is, and you got to run with it, and you got to practice. And I've been writing blogs since 2009. I go back and look at some of my blogs early on. I think, oh my goodness! But at least I wrote. And then I read some other blogs and went, that's really good. Did I write that? You can get a spectrum. So, but I saw a post this morning and it said, if you want, the secret to getting $1 million worth of deals is to write $1 million worth of proposals. Because if you don't write, you ain't going to get. And it's the same with your social media. If you're not engaging with people with good posts, then you are not going to be able to get that engagement that you need. We've got to schedule some of this too. If you're just leaving it live and you're just like, oh, I need to write something, it's going to be hard. But if I just did a content calendar for Inner Circle for the whole year, and I had to go through all the dates of public holidays and Thanksgiving and Easter, just so I could get all the dates for the end of the year. And I've done that now. And we do that every week with our clients with their content too. We look at the calendar, we look at whether it's Safe Internet Day or National Donut Day or Thanksgiving or whatever's coming up or what the weather's changed to. And we try and add that into the mix as well. And sometimes people write in batches. You can do that with social media. You can either use Hootsuite or Facebook scheduling. And if you're on a roll, write 4 or 5 and then just schedule them. It doesn't have to be like in the moment. And then if you have an idea, or I sometimes will just screenshot something that I'll see on my feed that I want to go to, or I'll share a post in Messenger to myself, so I'll remember to go back. Some people write it in a journal. Some people have like vision boards or inspiration boards that just really inspire their social content. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that. And even if you just write a draft, you don't have to publish it. Be it your blog or your Facebook page, you can write that in such a way that you can save it for a later date, or you can publish it and go back and edit it. But just write something down and feel good about that. And if you're going to procrastinate, that's okay. Procrastinate for 10 minutes, put your feet up, take your slippers off, whatever, go for a walk and come back, and then do it. Or get it done and then go for your walk to reward yourself. I find that it's easier for me if I get stuck now to become accountable. So I'll either make myself accountable, and I'll take my phone, I'll put it in my drawer and say, okay, I'm not looking at my phone until I get this job done. Or I might text a friend and say, look, I have 3 blogs I have to write today by 5. can you just text me at 4:30 and ask me if I've done them? And that's the kind of thing, I don't know about you, but if I say I'm going to do something and I told somebody, there's no way in this earth, if he texts me at 4:30, I won't have those done. But the fact that I just put that challenge out there is what I needed to get it done. So all of these areas, I hope I've just given you some ideas, and we can talk about a lot of this on Thursday in Virtual Coffee about how you get over those mental blocks and how you find content that is really going to work for people. You just got to get comfortable with your writing style. You've got to just find your social voice in such a way that it's like, yep, that's me, and it'll work. And then when you have this blog, it might have been a video to begin with, and then you turned it into text. You might want to put it on your website as a blog, share it on Facebook, send it out in your e-newsletter, tweet about it, have other people share it on your social share platform. But there's so much you can do with one piece of content. You might want to share that same blog 7 or 8 times in a month. Just because you shared it once doesn't mean to say people are going to go and see it. It's quite rare that people go back down someone's timeline to see what else they've posted. So for a lot of time, when you reshare it, they're seeing it new. And if you can make certain of your blogs what we call evergreen, that you can use that next year or next season, so suddenly you're going to have a ton of content that you can share with people that you don't have to keep writing brand new stuff all the time. And that's really, really going to help you. So this is how social bridges a connection from your website to your customers. People find you on Facebook, or they find your website and they look for that Facebook icon. Chances are they will press it, they will get to your page, and they will like your page, especially if you're active and there's good content. If they're liking your comments, you might actually want to ask people to sort of click the see first or the follow button so that they're actually following you more regularly. And as they start to like your posts, then they will start to share your posts and comment on them. And that's where that sweet spot of social media really works. Because then, as I say, your posts are getting shared organically because Facebook can see this connection there. People have found you either through a website or through a Facebook page back to your website. And there's some very smart stuff that you can do there. It's called retargeting. And we'll look at this in week 5. But Facebook has what they call pixels. Now, these are not little pixies or trolls. They're pixels. And it's a tracking code that goes into your Facebook page so that when anybody arrives on your Facebook page from an ad or from a post, you can actually retarget that person with ads, even if they're not coming back to your page in their feed. You can do that with Google too. It's that they've been on your website and then they go off. You can actually have ads running on other people's websites. So the whole big brother thing around social media and Google is here. 1984 is real. And you can do it in a subtle way that actually can make a real difference. And we'll show you a little bit about that later on in week 5 in the Excite piece. But based on that, the one thing that I think most people miss out on more than anything else is they build up their social media following, but they don't get their email. And this is why having that juicy offer on your website is so important, and why you should share that a lot on your social, because it's where business gets done, is when you've got somebody's email or you meet them face to face. So it's not that likelihood that people are going to buy off you straight from your Facebook page. You need to take that relationship one step closer, and that's normally an email exchange, newsletter, meeting for coffee, coming to a lunch and learn, heaven forbid, picking up the phone and speaking to them. But that's really where the business gets done. So if you have 20,000 likes on your Facebook and you only have 1,000 names in your email account, you've missed the opportunity of getting those emails. And that's where you need this offer. And next week, we'll talk about contests and how you can build a list sort of doing Facebook contests. If you do have that offer for, like mine is the Inner Circle right now, I should be hammering that across my social media, just saying, come join us for a month on Inner Circle and see what we're up to on Thursday. You'll see that a lot in my next couple of days. So the secret is to get that email. It's still where business gets done. And whether they're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever, they're signing in with an email to get to that account, and you need to get that email. You can even do a reverse engineer with the emails that you've got, is that you can import those emails into your Facebook through a program called Power Editor, and then you can actually advertise to people on Facebook by the emails that you've got, even though they may not even have liked your page. So there's lots of clever stuff that you can do in social when you get a bit more advanced. I try and answer a lot of questions on Thursdays. As you know, at 10 a.m. we do this Ask Me Anything Q&A, where I'm literally sitting here looking at whatever you're putting out on social media and answering questions as best as possible. And that's me establishing myself as an expert, but that's me engaging with an audience. We had a meetup last night. It was supposed to be a live event at a hotel. As those of you know, in the Lower Mainland here, we've had more snow than we've had since 1949, so it's quite some time. So I canceled it. But rather than just saying, sorry, too much snow, I changed it into a virtual meetup. So I had 7 people show up here last night at 7 o'clock. 3 people I'd never met before. And they engaged, they've signed up for Inner Circle today. 2 of them have a brand new startup business together. We exchanged emails already this morning. There's a conversation happening because I do this free meetup once a month. And it was pretty much this talk that I'm giving you guys today. Just educating people, and they just gravitate back because of that pay it forward mentality that you put out, and that makes all the difference, my friends. So based on that, what we also do on a Thursday is we put people in our fantastic hot seat. And I know, Jen, we looked at your website last week. This week, Doug from Greenvale has asked to look at it. So if anybody wants to be in the hot seat, I can do 3 people on Thursday. Just drop it in the chat box that you'd like us to either look at your Facebook or your Instagram or your website or your blog, and we'll analyze that a bit deeper. I'll look at it before the group, and then we'll analyze it sort of as we go forward. So he keeps hydrating myself here. We live in a social world, and that social world involves one of these. So you can see here, I've got my phone on a little tripod. I've got an external mic. I've got somebody taking a picture of me, taking a picture of myself. This is where the engagement really happens. It doesn't generally happen as much at your desk on your computer. It happens when you're out and about. And I love to do that, so to just help people as best as possible by getting them out and about. And so through that, what we can do is you can make videos on behalf of people. You can send them private messages. You can like, comment, and share while you're sitting in the theater waiting for the curtain to come up, sitting in a car, waiting for the kids to come out of school. There is a ton of places that you can get this connection going, and a ton of places you shouldn't do it. You definitely shouldn't be doing it when you're driving. You shouldn't be doing it while a movie's on. You shouldn't be doing it while you're in company. Find your boundaries, but run with it. Because what we're trying to do, we said last week, we're trying to create thumb-stopping posts. So when someone's scrolling through their phone and just looking for something interesting, what's going to make that thumb stop and look at your post is normally the quality of the image or the beginning of the video or the title or something that you've put in there that people are just looking at and think, oh, wow, okay. And then they press and they start to listen, or they start to watch, or they click on your name and they get to your Facebook page, and then they click on the about and they go to your website. You're like two steps away from doing business with people if you have that whole profile set up properly. And that's what we were looking at last week. So based on that, remember you have 2 different kinds of profile on Facebook. There's the personal profile and the business profile. You're still the same person. If you're a brand and you work for a bigger business, it's a little different, but most of us are our own business entrepreneurs. But it's very important that your personal page, employment, is your business page on Facebook. So whatever the business page is that you use for your company, so where the alarm company or the massage parlor, or then it could be a YouTube channel if you don't have a website, whatever that might look like, you want to have that link from one to the other so people can get back to that home base of what it is that you do for a living. So let's look at some tips on how to get this engagement really working. Our first tip is to educate. We talked about that a lot last week. So whatever times that you get asked the same question twice, that really is a blog post. That really is something that you should share on Facebook. So in this instance, this was a story of, I wrote a post based on a radio page that I follow, and they'd done a great picture of the royal family, and I shared it. And I went to bed, and this post had over 60 likes and 20 shares. I thought, well, that's fantastic. Got up the next morning to see how well my post was going, and it was gone. I didn't delete it. So I spoke to my team and said, did you delete this? And they went, no, it was a really good one. And it's like, well, where did my post go? I did a little bit of research, and then I found out that even though I share it and people comment on my post, because I'm sharing somebody else's post, that original creator, if they delete their post, it's deleted off your wall too. I didn't know that. So the first thing we did was write a blog about, are your Facebook posts disappearing? Why is that happening? Let me show you how. So, I mean, it didn't get a ton of reach, but it got 32 people that click on the post to my website. So I have 32 sets of eyeballs finding about a story that was true, that happened to me, that I figured that people would love to be engaged with. And that's how that works. When you engage with people, you can just go crazy. We looked at this a little bit last week. It's a client of ours. They have an actual turkey farm where they raise turkeys from chicks right through the whole process. And this was a back to school contest that they did. And just look at, this is a page with 3,000 likes. This is not a big page, but they reached over 100,000 people. This is all organic. 545 people shared this post. This is like, 545 people shared on one side, but altogether over 1,000 people shared this post. It was unbelievable how well this post went. In fact, we've entered this post into a marketing contest because we think it worked really, really well. So you can just see how these things just develop, and how from other people comment and then they share it. It's hard to find these home runs every day, but when you do, remember it, put it in a calendar so that you can share it again next time around, because that can really make a difference. Just going to check my chat box here because we're good. Entertaining people, that's what we're going to look at next week after Elaine teaches us a little bit on Thursday, but finding posts that make people smile. I'm going to stand outside, so if anybody asks, I'm outstanding. It's not that funny, but it kind of is. But look how many people this post reached, how many likes it got, how many shares it got. 125 shares from this. Seriously? That's what people want. It was Friday. I had this thing called Fun Friday where Ellen DeGeneres does it, on her show. She always has a joke to begin with. But this kind of stuff just gets you out there. It improves your Facebook social credibility, improves your edge rank, so that chances are more and more people are finding your page, seeing what you do, and it just works, my friends. You want to empower people to really believe in who they are and what they do in their social justice cause or whatever. You want to empower them that what you have as a profession would be exactly what they need to be able to make their life better. So in this instance, we're a social media company. I know, and I'm saying to people, don't just use social media to impress people, use it to impact people. This post got a lot of coverage. So just remember where we're at with this. We're 5 weeks in, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I know I got a lot of questions this morning. It's like, is it 10 o'clock? Is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday? So just to recap, we're here on Thursdays. I do like this screen, Bridget. I really like this screen. This is good. She's done translucent graphics, my goodness. So 5 weeks, every Tuesday. I put it on the Facebook page again, just to recap. So let's go and talk about video, because this is so important to your strategy. And so we know that over 80% of Facebook posts that are engaging now have a video component. But there's a couple of things that you can do with your video that most people miss. Is that on your Facebook page, you can create what's called a featured video. So that video then is automatically placed at the top of your page. When anybody clicks on it, on your YouTube channel or your Facebook page or your website, this is like your home page video of what it is that you do and what you do. So in this instance, I was talking about my VIP program last year, and this is where we're running with it. We started March 1st, so we're making another video very soon about VIP. That's featured. The other thing that most people don't do on Facebook is that you can group your videos, if you start to make quite a few of them, into playlists. So you could suddenly start sharing these playlists, and you can do this with images and video. And this really helps your engagement, because when you group something together and somebody likes it and then somebody else likes it later on, then it actually improves your engagement because you've got this collective group liking. It's very, very cool. And then, video is just where you need to be. And for a whole year last year, I challenged myself to make a video every single business day. I tried to not make them more than 2 minutes, so they were simple, vignette, bite size, and wherever I was, I made a video. So if I was at a client's house, I made a video. If I was in my backyard, I made a video. That one there of me and the dog, 124, it was 5 in the morning at a transport yard. We were about to film this cargo going onto the freeway. I thought, I've never made a video at 5 in the morning. Chances are there's not many people watching it, but it actually did get a lot of views during the day. September 7 there, 2015, I'm outside a school because it was like back to school day and all the kids had gone in. I parked up in the school zone and I stopped. I went, do you remember that back to school thing? And this is how we started the boot camp, because that just got me going about back to school for business. And then leaves falling and motivation Mondays, lots of different things. I went to a baseball game in Seattle, so I did my video on a Sunday afternoon. There are no boundaries in terms of time with social media now. So finding some different background. What I really don't want is I don't want talking heads behind a white wall or one of those screens that you buy in the hardware store. They're okay for webinars, but not for social posting. People love context. They love different backgrounds. They love to see what you're up to and what you're about. And this is where your engagement is really going to happen, without doubt. And then look at some of these videos that I shared. So I'm reaching, and they're all organic. I am reaching thousands of people and getting incredible viewing just through this video strategy, my friends. It's not difficult to do. You just got to get yourself comfortable in front of a camera like we're doing. Hold your phone up and speak to people, and always hold it this way as well, by the way, because that's TV shape, and that's the best way to do it. But this will get you the engagement that you need. You need a few accessories. I'll post some links about which pieces of equipment that I buy, and I'll post that in the Facebook group later on. But whether you've got a motorized gimbal or a little gorilla pod or an external mic, all of those pieces, so good lighting, good sound, and a steady hand will make all the difference. I've been sharing some videos this week of the blizzards that we had and the snow, and they made huge impacts. Because if you're living on the East Coast, and I have a client in Prince Albert, it's super cold there, but they have no snow. And yet we have all the snow, but it's not super cold. So there's always a point of reference that people are going to identify with in your video that will make a huge difference for you. The other thing too is that you can ask questions. So I say this from quite some time back, but it was one of the most successful things I did. And this is a realtor. His name is Michael Thorne. He has a Facebook page called My North Langley, and it's the most amazing community page. And in this instance, there was a video store that closed, and the realty sign went up, and he simply asked this question: if you could choose, what would open in this space? And within a day, over 250 people had an opinion about what should go into this building. Now, is he the commercial realtor? No. Has this got any benefit to him? Yes, because it's his community and he doesn't want to see an empty, store on a high traffic corner. But really what he's doing is he's creating engagement within that community, and people are rallying around just trying to work out exactly what should go in this store. And it was a stroke of brilliance. What you can also do is you can tag either a hashtag so that people will find your post because of a keyword, or you can tag people in your post so that you're guaranteed that certain people will come back and find out about this post because you tagged them in it. Some people have the privacy settings so that you have to ask permission and they have to go and approve that notification. But I don't like hashtags a lot in Facebook, but they work really well when people are searching. So have a couple. If you want to tag people in a post, that works too, because this really works with your engagement. And just some examples of people that we've worked with that this has worked for. Jen Williamson is an artist. She's very, very gifted, struggling to get commissions, struggling to get a good price for her art. A couple of years ago, we started to work together. She made a lot of videos of what went into her process, what was going on behind the scenes. 2 years on, her price of art is double what it used to be. She's getting commissions. She recently had a gallery showing in New York City. Business has worked super well for her. She still has a low number of Facebook likes, but they're very high quality likes. And her business is booming because of her strategy. These clients of ours, they rent apartments. They have about 700 rental units. When we started working with them, they had like a 12% vacancy rate, which is probably equivalent of about $100,000 a month lost revenue because they have empty apartments. We've built their Facebook community now to about 7,000 people, so much so that they don't have vacancies. They have wait lists. So effectively, you talk about the ROI of social media. Their campaign alone is probably worth about $1.2 million a year to them in improved income, because now we created this brand on social media that everybody loves, and everybody now wants to stay in an Abbotsford apartment. And although there's a gazillion apartments, this is the premium brand that people want to stay in because of the engagement we had on social media over the years. And I could go on. This is Ashley Young. She's a personal fitness trainer. She used to work with WCB and ICBC doing insurance claims, never really getting well paid for it, always waiting for her money. She stopped doing that. She is now niching herself in a personal fitness trainer with an older generation of people who have an injury, quite often, a more senior, employee or business owner. And she just works one-on-one with people. She's took her rates from $80 to $120. And Ashley has a wait list of people waiting to come and train with her because she is so good at active rehab because of the videos and the stories that she's told through social media that just positioned her as the expert. And I could go on. This is Tamsin's story. They bought this Salt Wellness from a client that we helped set up. We did some of the very initial early videos of people coming in. We call them Tales from the Float Tank. We had somebody from the Dragon's Den, Vijay Vij, come and float, and we were interviewing. We had some people from the Canadian Football League, BC Lions, come and interview about their experience around floating. Tamsin did just like a masterful stroke on Sunday. As soon as the Patriots won the Super Bowl game, she posted and boosted an ad saying, do you know why the Patriots won? The team all float. Athletes who float win. And it was like, way to go, girl. I just love it when people just, grab a motion like that and twist it around and position their business in it. I could go on with lots of stories of how we've helped people, but what is the secret to this? The secret is this: telling your story and having some fun. It's not really a big secret, but that's really what people forget. People love a great story. People love to have fun. You combine those two pieces together and your social media will work. I tell those stories a lot because I bring a lot of the people in to tell their story in my inner circle. And if you're not signed up for Inner Circle yet, please make sure you do. There should be a link in the boot camp. But basically, everybody's in the boot camp got 3 months of Inner Circle as part of their package. So it's coming up this Thursday at 2:00. So do make sure you're into that because this extra training with Elaine is going to be awesome. A couple of other areas that you might want to think about. Most of you probably have a LinkedIn profile, but are you using your LinkedIn to get engagement? This is my LinkedIn profile, and automatically you can see the one and only picture of me on social media with a suit and tie is on my LinkedIn because that's where business people are. But the main thing that people forget with their LinkedIn is that contact and personal information. So you see somebody on social media and you go to sort of check them out and you'll find nothing in the contact box, but look at how many boxes LinkedIn give you to connect. So there's my profile, there's my website, and you see how in brackets I put training website, in so much as they know they're going to get training. There's my Google Plus for people to be able to go and sort of find out directions to us. My Facebook, of course, my mobile phone, my email, my Twitter account, my Skype, my WeChat. Whatever people are looking for me, I've just given them my virtual business card. So the engagement that I get out of LinkedIn is much higher because people can reach out to me because I'm just giving them the keys to many of the doors that I open. One of the other things that really helps your engagement on LinkedIn is to have other people talk about you. So the more reviews and recommendations you can get across your social media, the better. So I don't cover LinkedIn as a platform within the bootcamp. We cover it in our VIP, but there is a bonus LinkedIn webinar with Kevin Campbell in the group, which I really recommend you watch because the guy's a master at LinkedIn. But getting those recommendations on your Facebook page, on your Google Plus, on your LinkedIn, this is other people saying who you are and what you do. That's really going to help you get those business deals done because you're not selling anything. Other people are giving you that recommendation. Same with Twitter. You have 140 characters to make a statement. So when people arrive there, what are they seeing? Are you standing out from the crowd? Are you taking your Twitter and putting it into micro lists so you can just follow people in different ways? That's very, very doable. And again, we don't do Twitter in this, but we cover it deeply in VIP. But just think about if you have a Twitter account, are you using it? Because if you're not using it, give it up. But I use it quite effectively, and I travel quite a bit with client work. And we always choose one airline, which is called Alaska Airlines. I have the credit card, I get the points. It works really well. So what I always try and do is I always take a photograph from the plane when I land or whatever. I will always share that picture back with Alaska. They, without fail, retweet my photograph. So my 4,000 likes suddenly reach 500,000 likes because they retweet my stuff and they always write back and they always, you know, it's very personal. So that's Alaska retweeting, and then suddenly Kate's speaking to you about how great, you know, Mount Rainier is there, just barely peeking out. Thanks for the shot. Thanks for flying with us. This connection. I'm telling you about my favorite airline because I'm connected to them through their social media. You can see this other one, you know, a stunning view of wherever I was, you know, on my way to Tucson. I just love it, you know, when people just take your name and take your stuff and they go share it on your behalf. That's where the difference comes. I did it with BC Ferries. I mean, I was on the ferry, I wrote to them. I know they don't have so much reach. So you'll see there, you see I have a period at the front of my post at the top left. That's very deliberate because on Twitter, if I wrote to BC Ferries, the only people who are going to see this tweet are the people who follow both me and BC Ferries, which probably isn't that many. But when I put a period in front of it, what that does, it makes that a public tweet that everybody sees. And that's just getting your engagement up because you're out and about on somebody else's page. And I wrote to them, they wrote back, KJ sort of wrote back, and you know, there was a connection point. So the more you can engage with your clients, and these are big crown corporations and public companies and airlines, they're still spending the time to talk to people. And that's what you have to do with your social. Instagram's the same thing. You know, it's not just about people taking pictures of their food. It's about having that connection point. So when I was doing my webinar a couple of weeks ago, I changed my whole philosophy on my Instagram to a link to the webinar. I had this great post, you know, where we had all of these hashtags, and like, social media doesn't need to be scary, people. This got me over, you know, almost 50 engagements with people liking this and commenting and so on. A lot of the hashtag strategy, but a lot of it came with the graphic that we created and a very simple link that says an active link in bio, because you can have a link in your Instagram, and we'll show you a bit more about that as we go through. But these kind of things work. The other thing that can make a huge difference to your engagement is what's called Instagram stories. It's quite new. If you haven't updated your Instagram app for a little while, then you need to do that. But you'll see these little circles across the top, and when the circle has got like that rainbow edge to it, so you'll see like on the right hand side, there's no edge rim to my picture. That means I haven't created a story. All the other ones have got this extra color, so you know there's a story waiting for you. You can jump into that story and watch what people share, and these last for 24 hours and they're gone. So it's really fun to sort of watch somebody behind, and then you can just swipe up and engage with these people by having a conversation. So again, that engagement on a different platform, be it LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, or Instagram, they're all different places of engagement. Hashtags make a huge difference for being found, and we can show you how to do that. Someone's got to run because it's 3 o'clock and I'm a little behind my time. Sorry, Leo. See you again soon. It'll keep recording. So stay with me. I'll just be a couple more minutes. If any of you use Snapchat, and I use Snapchat a lot, I have engaged with some of the biggest thought leaders in social media in the world through their Snapchat feed that I would never have got to them via email or at a conference. But because they're real on Snapchat, I've been able to get real with them too. And it's made a huge difference. So if you're interested in Snapchat and you're dealing with more of a millennial market, there's an awesome app called Ghost Codes. It's the only way you're really going to find people on Snapchat, and you give them what they call a kudos. You see the little heart, you tap the heart, it goes purple. They get a notification that you basically give them a virtual high five. And it's a great way of building a very qualified list if you're into Snapchat. So as to what I've tried to do, and just remember, folks, in the circle this Thursday, 2 o'clock, don't miss it. What I've tried to do is just really come out of this, and hopefully you've got this message loud and clear, you know, to just have some fun with your social. So what we're trying to do through this boot camp is we're considering it a new beginning for our businesses. It's a new start for many of you who have never even been on social media in an active way. My job is to give you a new mindset, which is how to create posts that work, how to create engagement that's fun, how to educate people in a way that's not selling. So then that whole focus of how you do your marketing has completely changed. Suddenly you're now thinking, oh, I could do this. I didn't think that people would be that interested in that, but there's so many things that you can do. And those new intentions turn into new results, and that's where business gets done. So thank you for this. I'm going to unshare this. That's my wife, Debbie. Oh, that's me clean shaven as well, by the way. This is kind of a funny story. For those of you that know me, I am not I am not an unshaven person, but my wife is away for 3 weeks and she will not let me go without shaving, but she's not here. So, oh well. So I'm just seeing what I can do in 3 weeks. It's just kind of my thing, and it's part of my social story. And, you know, I'm sharing pictures and selfies, and I just went, you know, not bad for a week. And I've gone past that itchy stage and it's starting to get some form now. If you're a guy, you know what I'm talking about. But that's how that works. So that's pretty much where I wanted to take this today. But if anybody's got any quick questions they want to add into this, I'd love to answer those. If not, I can call it a day and we'll be back. We come back on Thursday at 10 a.m. for virtual coffee, where we do that quiet question thing. Okay, I saw Dolly raised a hand, but I don't see a question. So let's see if I can read just some of these questions. I have a client 3. Lily, can you please check my latest Facebook post? It's reached many people, but no engagement. They could win a $100 Lululemon card. So what can we do creating it? Well, okay, we've got to look at this, haven't we? Okay, so Lily, let's, let me just go screen share. I'm going to go to, this is going to be fun. Come out of my big PowerPoint here and go into my Facebook. Drop that bot. You can see my screen, okay, right? Okay, so let's, so Lily, the...
Healthworks.com. Our Healthworks.
Healthworks.
Our Healthworks.
Okay, was it this one?
Yeah, the leaf.
All right, so let's see what you got. Okay, so enter to win. So, oh wow, so that's great. You've got the box. You've got people entered to win. Entered to win $100 Lulu gift card and some vitamins. That's awesome. So what you can do with this, I mean, I'm not yet, and I like it obviously. There must be more than one like though, surely? Or have you just posted? No, you posted this 22 hours ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens with this now is that if you posted it and it's 22 hours old and it hasn't got a lot of engagement, no one's going to see it organically. So what Facebook does is it comes along and says, okay, and it has a button called boost. So what it's saying is, if you really want people to see it, why don't you give us some money? So I would suggest you boost it for $5. You maybe boost it to people who like your page and their friends, because you've got 450 or so people that like you already and their friends, and boost it. And then they will be guaranteed to see it. And that's where I'd go with that to begin with. I'd probably write a blog and put it on your website so that there's a box on your website that people can say that. It's in store till February 15th, so we got just over a week to run with this. You could do a little video. If there's a Lululemon store nearby, you could do a little video outside the Lululemon store. If you had some Lululemon clothing, you could wear that as part of it. You could talk about, you know, what the ActiveX multivitamin is really good for whether it's for older people or for people who go to do that. You can ask people to share it. We run contests quite often where we ask people to share a content. We're doing that. I'll show you how we're doing one right now with Elite Kitchens. And this is an actual contest that you pay for. But in this instance here, what we're doing is we're running a contest. So basically what we ask people to do is they have to like the page. They give us a name and email, and then they get more ballots, if you like, for sharing it. So in this instance, it's a Valentine's contest, but same sort of time. You can see how many people that we've reached. So 1,000 people organically, 1,800 people, you know, through payment. I've spent, it's a $50 budget, so I haven't even spent $10 yet. And I've already got 14 shares and a number of likes. It's my cover picture. It's on the website. We've written a blog. We've sent a newsletter out. So this is the kind of stuff that we'll cover on week 5. But it really, you know, you have that contest that you really want to get people involved with, and it can make a huge difference. So the missing magic is, yeah, getting that email. That's really what you need more than anything else. And so if you all go to Elite Kitchens, you can enter this contest. You can see how the Facebook app works, but it basically goes into this. They don't even leave the website. They just give us the name, email. Facebook populates it. Did you like the page? If you know, because I can't make you like the page, so I have to ask you that. And this is how it works. So that $500 prize, put in $500 worth of advertising and time, you know, we probably, I think we've so far with this company probably built about 700 new emails of local people who may or may not buy a kitchen from it in the next 5 to 7 years. People don't buy kitchens very often because it's a long sales cycle. That's why we're in for the long game. But that's kind of how we do. That's how we do social, and that could probably help you, Lily. But that's the kind of thing that we would do.
Okay, so I'll change some little stuff like getting the emails and creating videos and explanations.
Absolutely.
Blogs.
Yeah. But great idea, and a really good idea for a prize, because Lululemon's like, who wouldn't want to buy that? But if you could get 6 or 7 people to share that straight away, then it'll soon get some virality, and just share it on your personal page. I'll go back and I'll share it in a bit soon. And,
okay, perfect. Thank you.
You'll soon get. We should all go like it and share it.
Okay.
Someone's gonna win. I don't think I'll be one winning, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Can that layout be created on Facebook ads as well? Yes, you can. You can create a Facebook ad. You got to remember with Facebook ads is that 20% text rule. They don't hard and fast, but it's much harder if over 20% of your ad box is text. It's not going to go out as well. So you got to limit the amount of text that you have on a box for it to work. But then we'll cover that. We'll cover that a little bit more in week 5 on how to create a Facebook ad that works. But that's definitely the way to go. That boost, you know, creating some target audiences. It doesn't have to be people who like your page. It could be just, I'm doing one for a style lady in California right now. And we created this very, very customized audience in California of ladies aged 28 to 55. And we had like 13 different interests. So we reached about 436,000 people in California who ideally, you know, could buy from this lady. And I created that target audience. I saved it. So now when I go to boost, rather than just boosting to likes, I can boost to the target audience. Done. Took me 5 minutes to build the audience, maybe, and now I've got it saved. So that's how it can be done. Dolly says, I raised my hand for a question. Can we speak? Yes, you absolutely can speak. You're on the phone, but just I'll unmute everybody. Actually, how about that? And then just fire away.
Oh, hey. Can you hear me?
Yes, it has.
Oh, good. Because I had my phone muted. I didn't realize we had everything muted. Here's my question. It's maybe a little odd, but we have a personal page and we have a business page. And do you post mostly on your business page? Because I post a lot on my personal page. And I always wonder if, I mean, political posts aside, we have a lot of that going on here in the States. The other things I post, should I just post them on my business page just because I like them or they're about me, or figure out a way to connect them to what my business page is about? It feels to me a little bit like my personal life is different from my business, even though my business is sort of built on what I've done in my life. And I'm just trying to figure out how to bridge the two.
I 100% hear you, Donnie. So I have about 2,400 friends and I have 20,000 likes. I get way more engagement on my personal page, and I'll share a screen. I'll just show you the examples of what makes a difference. But great question. Thank you so much for doing that. So this is when it comes up. This is my personal page. So the types of things that I might share would be right out of my window. I have a hummingbird feeder. So I zoom my phone, and there's 2 hummingbirds, what I call, you know, checking out the local juice bar. So that got me, 12 likes. The post before that is some pictures I took this morning because the sun came up, and I'm sharing about snow. That got me, you can see 22 likes and a bunch of comments. Am I selling anything at this point? No, I'm talking about snow. You know, I'm talking about the movie that we watched last night. But then, you know, right in the middle of this was the meetup that I did last night with people, you know, a link to join this meetup. There is, early in the day, I took a bit more about the meetup, and then I'm back to snow again. So it's a bit of a balance, but you can see that I'm keeping in touch with people for what's my wife shared this with me, but this is an awesome speaker in Australia that she just discovered who talks about purpose. So I'm putting a lot of business acumen into my personal page, as well as promoting other clients' events and what needs to be done and what I do as a business. If I then flip over to my business page, and then you start to look at this, then you'll see straight out of the gate, you'll see I'm just about to jump on 2 o'clock to do this call with you guys. I didn't put that on my personal page. There's my motivational quote for the day that came out this morning. There's my, scroll down a bit here, I can pass over the boxes. There's my one picture of the sun coming up this morning. Life feels so much better when the sun comes up. I only got 2 likes. I reached about 180 people, but I got way more likes on my personal page. So it's always a balance of the two, but I get way better engagement here. But then look at this one. So this was a news story yesterday from Vancouver that we broke. It's 1949 or something since we had this much snow. Look at how many people I reached now. I reached like 1,500 people. You can see this better on what they call Facebook Insights. And you don't get this with a personal page. You can't advertise on a personal page. You can't reach people. But if you go to the insights on, so now I can see that post reached 1,500 people and I engage with 85. That's great. So how do I create a post that works like that again? You can't get this on personal. This post reached 1,800 people, got 222 people engaged. What was that one? It was a story about the yogurt company where he's now given 10% of the business to his staff from whatever that yogurt, Chobani yogurt company. So that, these sort of things, you can't get this kind of analysis. So what I find is that the kind of posts that work really well, and I get the analysis behind it. So, some of them so this one reached 797 people. It was actually a video of a cat coming. Somebody opened the front door. The snow was up to the front door. She's trying to get the cat to come in. She's trying to entice it with the food. She's waiting. She's giving up on the cat, and suddenly, bam! In comes the cat. So this kind of stuff, it's positioning me as an expert. It's positioning me as a friendly person. I do a complete balance of both, as you can see, between my 2 Facebook pages. I promote my clients. So you have to have a business page. You have to be able to do that. You have to, at the same time, just remember that people are here for learning about you. So whether they learn about you through your personal page and your business page and your website and your videos, that's okay. But just don't do too much business on your personal page without having it originating from your business page, because that's where you can get your knuckles wrapped from Facebook.
Right. I don't do any business on my personal page, but I do tend to get a lot more comments and dialogue going on my personal page than I do on my business page.
Yeah, and that's exactly how that's exactly what they do. So that's why with that. So personal pages are the best, without a doubt, but you need a balance of both. Hopefully that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hopefully I'll figure it out.
We'll get you there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Somebody asked, is this the right place to ask? I tried to run a Facebook ads, but they're still in draft. How do they make them go online? Probably a step that you've missed, Peter. I'd have to look at your ad account to see where that was going. Somebody's asking about lots of Facebook ad questions. That's coming up on week 5, but
Are you on week 5?
I can do to find some other.
Just said.
I'm gonna move it a little bit so I can hear somebody else chatting in the background there. So yeah, I will come back and we'll do a bit more on Facebook ads, maybe a little bit for week 5 to help you. I'll try and maybe even do some on Thursday on Virtual Coffee this week. We'll cover our Facebook ads. So we're at 3:17. So I'm gonna time out for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Paige, for getting the slide deck done in time. That was really quite fun to get some new slides. So thank you. It's a good job that I went back because I realized I hadn't recorded this anyway. So that's great. And I will see you at 10 a.m. on Thursday for Virtual Coffee, 2 p.m. for Inner Circle with Elaine. But the Facebook group is here, each and every day for ideas and tips and questions, and we'll support each other as we go through the group. Thanks so much, everybody. It's great to see you. See you again soon. Bye for now.